Hello, I'm Martin Phillips. I'm Professor of Human Geography at the University of Leicester.
And my name is Bernard Fortner. I'm Associate Professor at the School of Media Communication and Sociology.
Together we co-lead the Environmental Justice and Natures of Exclusion Research Challenge of the Institute for Environmental Futures. Bernard and I are working together because we both have an interest in how environmental changes and transitions often raise issues about social justice. They raise issues partly around who contributes to these changes and who is impacted. Often, issues like climate change are very much produced by maybe the more affluent groups of people, and often they impact people who are on lower incomes or more disadvantaged much more. One can think, for instance, about how issues like flooding and heat waves often impact low-income groups particularly. And we're interested about how people think about and engage with nature, or what they think about how they represent nature. Often people think about maybe nature as occupying particular spaces, maybe particular wild spaces. They think about maybe areas like the Lake District being places of landscape and nature. But actually nature exists in all sorts of places. It exists within urban settings. We might think about cities being spaces of concrete and built-up environments, but they are places where all sorts of creatures and elements of nature also exist. So we're interested in thinking about how nature is sort of imagined, created, represented, and also how people mobilise particular ideas about nature, maybe trying to defend particular natures, trying to see certain activities being appropriate in some locations, but not in others. We're also interested in understanding people's attitudes to things like climate change. Do people accept that it exists? Do people deny it exists? Or are there lots of people whose attitudes fall somewhere in between that, who maybe are uncertain about what they feel about climate change or how they should respond?
So we are also interested in how different actors, party political actors, but also non-party political actors, such as think tanks, for example, how they engage in climate obstruction, how they try to derail climate agenda, meaningful climate agenda. And in addition, we're interested in how a variety of actors, protest groups, for example, NGOs, how they try to oppose this agenda, but also, of course, alternative lifestyles and how they engage in an environmentalist agenda, such as the Hockerton Housing Project, where we are today.
A key element of our research challenge is to be inclusive. So we are on the lookout for collaborators and partners. Please get in touch with the Institute if you are interested in being involved.